Okay, now for the purposes of this tutorial, you will have to forgive my voice. I am feeling a little bit unwell. One of the new ways of storing data from the new study design is the use of an XML document. Okay, anyone who's done the Adrian Jansen practice exams would know that that's one of the questions, and it talks about encasing data in tags. So I'm going to show you how that's done. So first of all, on my project here, I'm going to add a new item. I'm going to click on my data set, and I'm going to call this one X data set and click add. It brings up a design thing here. If you're familiar with Microsoft Access, it almost looks like some of the design things that they have in there. So I am just going to add a data table. I'm going to call this data table contacts. Right mouse click on the table. I'm going to add a column. I'm going to call this one ID. I'm going to go into the properties of this one and change the auto increment to true. I want the first record to start off at 1, and I want the increment to go up by 1, and I want the unique value to be true. This makes what is called a primary key, if you remember from other subjects. I'm just going to add another column here really simply. It'll just be your name, and add one more column here, and we call this one phone number. That's it for my data set. Really simple. Back into my design here, I click over to data sources. I downward click the contacts thing arrow there, and I want the details view, because when I drag that across onto my form, it actually builds a form for me, which is really cool. Move it over here just so it looks a bit nicer. Make this one a bit longer. Make this one a bit longer too. I want to click on the save button, and I'm going to enable that because we do want to be able to save later on. I'm actually going to delete this one here, and I'm going to put in what's called a masked text little box. Really cool, just for doing phone numbers and stuff. So I'll make that nice and big. If I right mouse click that, I can actually set the mask. I went to a phone number, but it's an American style, so I'm just going to delete that. And then that way we can put in our area code, and then we have 8 digits for our phone number. What I do have to do though, just back in the data sources, is grab the phone number and actually link it to that particular text box. So if I save this now and run it, nothing's actually going to happen because I haven't linked it anywhere. I am just going to change the display of form 1 here to be contacts. I'm going to double click on the form, and there's a few things I want to do in form load. But before the form load, first thing what I want to do is create a variable. I call it XML database data. It is as a string equal to my.application.info.file system. Directory path. And then I'm going to add what I actually want it to be called. XML data display.xml. Okay, so this is just set my file path here. It actually just saves it within the application that I'm already in. Okay, which is really cool. A few things I need to do on the load. Actually, just one. Basically, if my.computer.filesystem.file exists, and then I'll give it that XML database data, which I've set up before, So if the file exists, all I want to do is write to the XML data set, and I want to give it that same data. Okay. If it doesn't exist, obviously it's not going to populate the XML data set. Before I can get going here and get it usable, one more thing I need to do is double click the save button here and do a couple of little tasks. I want to make sure that the form is validated. There's an interesting little code here, which basically just means you're ending the edit. So it's contact binding source. End edit, and then all I want to do is XML data set, write XML. I want to give it the string of my XML database data, and that's it. That's all the code we need. So I'll save all and I'll run my code. So you see here it looks like a little database. You can see in Access. I'm going to add Scott Wallace 0359453009. That is my school number, by the way, not my home number. And then I press save. I'm going to add another one. Let's say Tracy Wallace. The same number. Add another one, let's call it Cody Wallace, and I'll give him a number similar to my home number, 59914563, and I'll press save. The cool thing is now if I run it again, it's reading that file and all that data's there, which is really, really cool. The other thing that I wanted to show you, if I actually, bear with me for 1 second, I'm actually in my XML demonstration data file here. Just go into the bin, debug, and my XML data displays here. If I right mouse click, I'm just going to open that in a web browser. You'll see that that's what my data set actually looks like. Alrighty, so you've got it encased in tags, and this can be read by a variety of different programs. Thank you.